Welcome to Decades of Horror, the 1970s.
That's right. You don't forget the taste of human flesh.
This is episode 246, recorded July 16th, 2025.
Gruesome Magazine.
Hello, once again. I am your host, Doc Rotten, and this podcast is about horror films released between 1970 and 1979. Each episode, my co-host and I will tackle another classic or not so classic film from this wondrous, groovy, gory, and influential decade. With me this week are my co-hosts, starting off with the one and only hardworking man, Jeff Mohr. Jeff, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm kind of hungry.
Oh well,
Watching this movie made me hungry. I don't know.
Don't look my way.
All right. Also joining us this week is Bill Mulligan. He's writer, director, special effects guru, all around nice guy, and published author.
I don't have a copy of the book.
Yeah, Rome.
I'm in New York. New York. Oh, there we go. Look at that.
Look at all the ROMs.
Everyone but me. You're just covered in ROMs. I'm in New York, upstate New York right now, and visiting family, which is always great.
Still watching horror movies.
My sister's internet is like way better than it was the last time I had to do this, so maybe I won't freeze or disappear halfway through.
Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it. All right. Also joining us this week is Chad Hunt. He's comic artist, co-host of Decades of Horror, the Classic Era, and the 80s. And you're a filmmaker yourself?
Somewhat. Yeah.
Welcome to the show again.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
For 246 times. Yeah, thank you.
And I'm not hungry.
You're not hungry. Not after this movie. Oh, man. Gosh. All right. If you're wondering what we're talking about and you haven't really paid attention to the title, we are covering Slave of the Cannibal God. Also has a bunch of other titles. We'll get into all that here shortly. But from 1978, one of the first cannibal films, is it? Maybe, I don't know. We'll find out. All right. But before we get too started, Jeff Mohr has something to say about Play Now Media.
Well, we're partnering with Play Now Media, and you could see Decades Before the 1970s on their Wicked Horror TV channel, and I believe we are now on the Classic Horror movie channel. 70s, going back maybe 10 episodes or so, he started adding us to that. And you get a discount on their subscription, so you get 20% off your first payment. The promo code is DOH70. DOH, all caps, 70. And for that, you get 20% off your first payment. So if you sign up for the monthly plan, you'll get $140 off your first payment. If you sign up for the yearly plan, which is $50 a year, you'll get $10 off. Wahoo. So you can have a whole annual, a whole year subscription for $40.
Nice.
You do have to be a first-time subscriber, and you do need to sign up on their website on the internet. So you just go to Play Now Media. I believe there's a place where you click on products, you can find where they're at, and then click on the web link.
Yep.
So, and he just told us the other day that he's got over 100 channels. I'm like, oh my God, that's got to be. I have to go back and look because I counted them the other, like a month ago, and there was 50 some. So there must be some
doubled up on them.
Some of them are hiding. Lots of cool stuff, though. I mean, you can get everything from found footage to cryptids to trashy sci-fi movies, etc.
Literally called trashy sci-fi.
Yep. And you can find Decades of Horror 70s on the Wicked Horror TV channel.
And the Classic Horror movie channel.
Oh, we're on that one too now. Good.
Yep.
Spoiler alert for those who are the uninitiated, as Jeff likes to say. We are a podcast, video cast, whatever you want to call us, covering these old movies from the 70s, and they're best appreciated after these episodes are best appreciated after watching the film themselves. Yeah. Their deep dive, something along the lines of a video commentary track, kind of like what they are, but we get a little bit more I don't know. Once we start talking monster movies, we don't know when to shut up. And
we're easily distracted.
I'm not going to shut up now. So there will be spoilers. And this
It's a discussion.
Yep, it's a discussion. All right, so let's get into it. We are covering Slave of the Cannibal God from 1978. Here's the CAD. Directed by Sergio Martino. Written by Cesare Frugoni and Sergio Martino. The cast includes Ursula Andress, Stacy Keach, Claudio Cassinelli, Antonio Marcina, and Franco Fantasia, which is probably not spelled, it's pronounced Fantasia, but that's what I see. Production company is Dania Film and Medusa Distributors, right? Filming locations is the Royal Botanical Gardens, Sri Lanka, Batu Caves in Malaysia, and Rome, Italy for the interiors. Release date in West Germany was May 25th, 1978. In France, it was July 12th, 1978. Italy, it was August 10th, 1978. And the US, it was April 13th, 1979. Synopsis is: a woman is aided by her brother, a professor and explorer, as they search the jungles of New Guinea for her anthropologist husband, who vanished near the mountain that is said to be cursed.
Now, Doc, I put that picture in there.
Yeah. Do that. What? Make it go away? All right.
Yeah, I put that picture in there to show that this filming was not a picnic.
No.
It was not a picnic at all, and that's the least of their problems.
Yeah, there's all kinds of weird locations. They are literally climbing up and down rocks and jumping into rivers. It was like kind of like a Hobbit movie with cannibals.
Yeah,
it's an adventure movie.
It's like walking. We're walking.
Yeah,
walking. Oh,
Sure hope there's no leeches in this water.
Oh, that's one thing they didn't bother with, but we got to see all kinds of other nasties. All right, let's find out when we first saw this film and what our first impressions were, and does the film hold up today? This film was chosen by Jeff Mohr. So, what? Give us a skinny, sir.
Well, we've had 2 cannibal movies on the 80s, but we haven't done any. Well, actually 3 if you count Parents. But we haven't done any cannibal movies on the 70s, I don't think. So it just seemed like time. So why did I pick this? I watched this maybe a couple of months ago, and then I saw this was available from Severn.
Oh, look at you getting the
4K.
Look at that.
And
that is a damn shame.
It is darn nice. It is darn nice. At any rate, there's interviews with almost everybody in the movie. So cannibal movie. It's and from my opinion, it's well made, it's well shot, it's well acted, but there's a bunch of gratuitous animal cruelty.
Oh yeah.
And sexual deviance. And that's just the way it was. That was what they had to do. We'll talk about that later, because the filmmakers talked about that a little bit. But in Italy, you had to do what the producers told you had to do. And if somebody came out before and did something like this, you had to one-up them. That was kind of the way it went. I thought all these guys did all their own stunts. There's nary a stuntman in the movie, that, as far as I know, including Ursula. She's wearing those high heel like cowboy boots, climbing up those wet rocks and stuff. But man, she's anyway. I kind of like this movie. I could do without some of the animal stuff, but they can do whatever they want to humans. I'm fine with that. There's one. And I don't know why they did the animal stuff. I started making a list of the stuff they did, but it was too much. I just didn't know what they have. So anyway, I enjoyed it. It's a good quality movie. If any of the stuff I mentioned, if animal cruelty bothers you or cannibalism, then it's gory. What can I say?
It is. It is. And yeah, there's gore. Yep. Chad Hunt, sir.
My first time watching this, I was to my surprise, I was kind of taken aback that Stacy Keach was in it. The cannibal movies are not my thing. They really aren't. Even though we've covered them here and there, and I love zombie movies. I can watch zombies eat people all day, but to watch other humans eating humans, I don't like. Probably because of all the animal cruelty that's in almost every cannibal movie they put out, and
for some reason, right?
Yeah, who knows why? But they linger on it like it's I don't know. It's something that they throw in these movies for some reason or other that I can't figure out. But this one, Ursula Andress is looking for her missing husband, and that's about the size of it. She just runs into all these. Her and her guys that are with her just keep running into all these weirdo cannibals with skin masks on, and being attacked by them up until the end. There's a lot of cool decapitations and
they were fun
and stuff like that are kind of fun to look at, and dismemberments and stuff. But at the end of the day, it just didn't do anything for me. It's just another cannibal movie. We trudged through the jungle for what seemed like hours and hours and hours. But I think the movie was only 90 minutes, but it felt like they were just walking forever through the jungle.
Lord of the Rings, like.
Yeah, I didn't like Lord of the Rings for the same reason. Yeah, get to where you're going already.
Wow.
We're walking. We're walking.
But yeah, it's just it didn't do anything for me. I couldn't wait till the end. I knew her husband was dead from a long way back in the movie. I knew she would find her husband dead. Little did I know that he would be in such a state when she did found him. That was the weirdest thing of all. That was the biggest pacemaker I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Wow. But it's not my cup of tea. There were a few things here and there that I really liked, like like I said, the decapitations and dismemberments, stuff like that. The little person really pissed me off. And deserved what he got, so I was kind of cheering at that one. But yeah, overall, it's not one I would ever go back and watch again. Even though Ursula Andress was naked in some of it,
I'd be glad to loan you this.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's okay.
I still remember what it's about, but I'll ever watch it again.
Bill Mulligan, sir, what about you? Did you?
This was the first time I'd seen it. This is actually the first time I've seen it. So, I mean, I'll die on the hill. I think Cannibal Holocaust is one of the great, brilliant horror movies. I would also describe it as horrible, morally indefensible. You are perfectly allowed to scratch it off your list just because it's a classic doesn't mean you have to watch it. And I like Cannibal Ferox because it's just a sleazy, pure grindhouse. I feel like I'm transported back to 42nd Street with a bunch of weirdos watching that movie. And this falls in the middle. I'm not really a big fan of cannibal movies like Chad, although I do think Cannibal Holocaust is brilliant. But the cannibalism genre is so limited. There's only so many stories you can tell. And it's like, yeah, why do they always have to kill animals? And I think it's because one, that was in the very first one, Man from Deep River, and the Italians tend to, if it works, keep doing it, follow the formula. So once Giallo hit, everyone wears black gloves whether they need to or not, because that's what we do in Giallo movies.
Absolutely.
And for something like Cannibal Holocaust, I'm not defending it because no, you can't. That turtle will haunt me to my end of my days. But the real unsimulated animal killing does set a tone that what we're seeing is real. And then when you get to the part of the human killings, you're fairly safe assuming that it's special effects and everything, although they tried to bring those guys up on charges. So there you go. But it does, anything goes. I've seen things really die. Now, this one has one of the worst of all of them, but I guess also one of the more kind of defendable ones, and it's about a snake and a monkey. Spoiler alert, the monkey does not come out on top. And it's awful because the poor thing, you're watching an animal really die and suffer. On the other hand, this is what happens in the jungle all the time. Snakes eat monkeys. That's part of their it's not like they had to force this snake to eat something he wasn't used to.
They just caught it. Yeah.
On the other hand, so here's three hands now. The monkey would not have been eaten by a snake if the filmmakers hadn't tossed him into its coils. So he's dying for art. He's dying for our benefit to watching the movie, and that's a little hard to take. But, nature is cruel, unless you're watching a Disney movie where the monkey always would get away at the last minute, but he don't.
And sing a song.
Yeah. Now, but as far as the movie itself, it's way better than most of them. But most of the, if you stack all the cannibal movies from the great cannibal movie period, that 10 years where they were making them, most of them are pretty dreadful. Many of them are directed by Jess Franco. They're only going to be so good. This one, it's in focus. It's the camera work is good. Yeah, I don't ask for much, but I've watched Jess Franco movies, and that's not a given. They don't, overuse the zoom. It has some good actors in it. I don't know that Ursula Andress is a great actress, but she's easy on the eyes, and she's, better than most of the people they get in this. And she, is certainly uninhibited. The biggest shock for me watching it is that I was under the impression that Stacy Keach was the lead. And I thought that right up to the point where he wasn't in the movie anymore. What? The other guy?
Bold. I thought it was bold, but it probably wasn't at the time. That was.
I mean, I knew it wasn't the brother, but so the other guy who just showed up. But then I realized, I've seen this guy in a lot of movies. But yeah, it was, and I did like it. Chad mentioned it. My favorite part of the whole movie is when they finally find this guy, and he's long since dead, but he's got a Geiger counter that's clicking away, and they think that's his heartbeat. I'm like, that's actually kind of cool. That's a neat little touch right there, because there's so much you can dislike about this movie. The cannibal genre is kind of inherently a little bit racist. You don't have to dig too deep and be too woke to see that as a very real interpretation. And there's the animal stuff, which if you like that, God help you. So, but of the cannibal movies, I would say that this is upper tier. That would probably make it mid-level for most movies, but for a cannibal movie, this one is less offensive than most. Better acted, better made. So I'm glad I got to watch it. It was one I always meant to because I love the poster. Poster is one of the greatest posters ever.
Look at that.
But as with most things, I always make the mistake of watching the best one first. So the first cannibal movie I ever saw was Cannibal Holocaust. And that was a gut punch, and none of the others have measured up. And because they don't measure up, I feel like, why are they even here? They don't serve any purpose. No reason to watch this. I've seen the best / worst. No reason to watch anything else. But I am glad I watched this. So thanks for picking it, Jeff.
There you go.
You're welcome.
Yeah, similar for me. I hadn't seen this, but I'm not a fan of cannibal films, so I don't seek them out on purpose. Really. I did the same thing, Bill. The first thing you did was watch Cannibal Holocaust, and I was like, okay, that's enough. This one did not get on my better side, mainly because of those the animal scenes. The monkey scene really got to me. I actually had to walk away. I actually did not watch the entire scene.
Mm-hmm.
And I walked into another room for a bit and came back when it was done. It just was unpleasant. It wasn't entertaining at all for me. And there's a lizard that gets, that's a little rough and other things. But at the same time, I think there's a reason for it. And the reason for it is to show you to give you an idea that, they are in danger and everything's wild. And this is instincts at its, most base, right? And when you see it with other animals, then you kind of, there's a parallel of how it's applied to this group of human beings, the cannibals, but they are also at their base and they do some very base things. There's making bacon that I'll never get out of my eyeballs. And we'll get to that a little later too. So I can't say I like this movie. I just can't say I like this movie. It was fascinating to watch a very young Stacy Keach. I think I remember them. I remember him first from Long Riders, which had all the Keaches and all these famous brothers and Carradines and stuff like that. And that was So yeah, I knew who he was, but not until after this film. So I'm not sure where he. Of course, my favorite film of his is Up in Smoke. Because he's absolutely fantastic in that. But, and wasn't he? Was he on TV? Was he not Matt Helm? He was
Mike Hammer.
Mac Hammer, yes. Mike Hammer. Yeah.
Mike Hammer. Yeah.
Couldn't get it out of my face, but yeah, I didn't enjoy this movie. Let's just put it that way. It's fine. It is what it is, but it just kind of falls. Yeah, I'm the one that would scratch Cannibal Holocaust off the list, even though
totally understandable.
I would not include it. I do not like these things. But I watched it.
Yeah, and one thing when these things bother me, I always feel a little hypocritical because I'm not a vegan. I know that my breakfast was not plucked off the bacon tree. So, right. And watching these people pretending to be cannibals and primitive, and they just chop the head off a lizard and slurp down its guts. And you're like, oh, that's so nasty and cruel, but that's where meat comes from. Might have had but I don't care. So if I'm a hypocrite, I'm a hypocrite. It's just, I don't want to see how the sausage is made.
I don't want to see how the sausage is made.
Yeah, well, and the people that made the movie, there was like 3 different stories about the snake and the monkey, about how that happened.
I'll bet there was.
One of them was Martino, not fairly recently actually, said that they were the snake was very lethargic. Well, I think it was drugged, and so they were trying to they put the monkey near it to try to get it to move. And the snake handler, the wrangler, said, "Don't worry, I'll be able to save the monkey, if it comes to that." And he couldn't. And then Martino goes on to say, we just did those things because that's what you were told to do. That's what the producers told you had to do. And that's one thing I wish I hadn't have done now, out of all the things that we did. Somebody else said that it was actually done in a zoo in Sri Lanka, and that the way they fed the pythons was with live monkeys.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, who knows, and then there was something else that was kind of in between that,
we just put a camera on the monkey because we thought he was cute, and then a snake showed up. We didn't even know
it was
until we developed the
python
film.
just following us around. It was like our pet
yeah.
python, and I'm like, I don't know, unless you look tasty. There was a lot of stuff like that, and basically, the commentary was pretty interesting on the movie. But anyway, Claire Donner said, that Sergio Martino gave this kind of weird explanation. Let me look real quick here.
Well, while you're looking, because of all this, it became a video nasty. And it was banned in the UK until 2001. So,
wow. What he said was, I decided to begin making cannibal movies because I have always worked for an organization whose main purpose was to make successful movies. In other words,
I appreciate the honesty.
Trying to make money, idiot.
Yeah.
Sort of. Anyway.
It is a business.
And I also wonder if they would have asked Stacy Keach when the movie was over, did you know you were going to have you were making a movie with a guy having sex with a pig? Because I bet not.
Where did they get that? Where did they get that pig? I mean,
I don't know.
But that was like, oh no, stop, turn that off. No
Point
pig,
of
please.
order here. I must have watched the pig sex free version. What the holy hell are you talking about?
There's
so did
a,
I.
you did. Oh, I watched it on. Where'd you watch it?
I don't know.
Because it was.
I think it was the
a,
pig sex free channel on.
Well,
my
I
God.
checked on Wicked Horror, and it had the full Monty in there.
Well, there's a reason.
Yeah.
and I watched
There's
it on
another
Classic
reason
Horror.
to get
All
Wicked
right,
Horror
all right.
people. You see uncensored versions of these.
So there's a scene where, and I can't remember where this scene comes in, Doc, but they, it might have been.
It's when they.
The one guy goes to attack. Ursula, the princess, is strung up there, and this guy goes over and starts kind of attacking her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I saw that part.
See that? Okay.
More than
They
that.
haul him off to the
Mhm.
side, and then the chief cuts his penis off.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
so that was on there.
Yeah.
I'm with you so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then they start showing everybody else doing this stuff. There's two people squatting in the dirt having sex.
Squat.
Oh, that's what they were doing, right?
No, I know, but it was just what you're saying.
It was weird. It was weird. And then they show this
Oh.
guy on a big full-size hog, and he's holding the tail up in the air, and he's bouncing
going-
away. There's
he's going down.
you just see, it's like soft. I don't even want to say that. Anyway,
One
then what really
Chicka
surprised me,
wow.
Oh, what, really? Oh, that
Shows-
wasn't the surprise. Okay.
it shows a woman laying there, and she starts touching herself, and pretty soon her one finger disappears.
Yep. They get graphic. Yep.
Wowzer.
So
You
guys they cut the finger in the hog, I guess.
I
Yeah,
did.
I did
Yeah,
not
huh?
see any of that.
It's okay to cut the penis off, but
Cut the
Yeah.
finger and
I was going to
the-
say this doesn't really seem like all that nasty a video nasty, but I take it all back.
oh yeah, it was. And you know what? If you cut maybe 30 seconds, it would cut all that out.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah. But the pig was just eating away. It was just chowing down. He didn't even care what was going
Did
on.
he squeal like a pig?
No, he did not. Well, enough about that. I guess you guys. already know
God.
what happens
Well,
in the movie.
Pleasant dreams now.
Yeah, see you.
Mhm.
That was it. That's our show. Now,
That's it.
let's get on with things. And I believe what we have up now, Jeff, is what?
Well, now's the time when we do taglines with Chad.
This does explain the tagline. I see a man have sex with a pig, and I was wondering what that was all about. But now it all makes sense.
See.
Wow.
They were like after they chowed down on their cannibal feast, then they apparently went into all sorts of decadence, and then they all passed out on the floor of the cave there. It's very weird.
Tiptoed right through him.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. Let's get these out of the way.
Oh, Chad. Wow. Such enthusiasm.
Taglines for what's the name of this movie again?
Well, it depends.
I mean,
Name
it's
of the Cannibal God.
Secrets of the Cannibal God or something.
Slaves, mountain
Sparking
Slaves.
spree.
Slaves, whorehouse of the Cannibal God.
Yeah.
When the price of lust is death. ... exclamation point.
I know that's isn't that weird.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Filmed in the savage and unexplored jungles of New Guinea.
No, it wasn't.
Wow.
It was filmed in
Pennsylvania.
Sri Lanka and Malaysia. Okay, so, but it was supposed to take place. It was set in New Guinea.
Yes, it was.
Okay. Well, fair enough.
Their cult was death. Their lust was for pigs.
blood for blood. Not for pigs.
Oh, Jeff.
Unbelievable. Outrageous.
Yeah.
Unimaginable.
No lies are spoken there.
Nope.
Ah,
And there go your taglines. for Slaves of the Cannibal God.
And that's been Taglines with Chad, as Chad plays his own son.
Chad's our hero, cool and rad. With him reading taglines, they can't be that bad.
You are a
Handsome
hero
devil.
for this one. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, let's take a look at some posters here and get into some of the marketing.
I just want to say this is a great poster. It
good
is
poster,
so
yeah.
grindhouse. I mean, where does one even begin? Their cult was death. Their lust was for blood. We've got what looks like Skull Island. Okay. And we have a bunch of cannibals holding someone, giving them, mosh pit treatment. We've got some handsome looking guy peeking out from behind the bushes while Ursula Andress, fully clothed, which is kind of a lie, but it's a poster, kids might see it. And she's all bound up, and there's a snake wrapping around her with his big old fangs, and there's skeletons in the corner. And it's like,
That's pretty much everything on there happens, I think.
Yeah. I mean, really, these things usually lie, but this one's pretty accurate.
I like her husband there behind her.
Yeah. And he's got his little Flav. He's got the little Geiger counter hanging around his neck. And
I like the way they thought it was his heart, and they just crammed it in the hole in his chest. Like,
I know every intimate detail.
he's going to be okay now.
We did a party at Canuga, and it was the Grindhouse party. And one of the things that we did, it seemed like a really good idea at the time, is we took pictures of people in front of a green screen, and then I would use Photoshop to put them in posters. And this was definitely one of the ones I wanted. I just took her out. That wasn't as easy as it was back in the day. And put them in. We're still wrapped with the snake and everything. And it was a cool idea, and the results were really, really cool. And it took for freaking ever. It seemed like a really good idea when I didn't have to actually go and do it. But I do like this poster. This is such a great Grindhouse poster.
Yep. I can't, and it was rated R. This,
yeah.
I guess I would imagine that those, like you said, the scenes that you guys didn't see were probably not shown in the States.
I kind of wonder. Yeah.
Well, because they're not critical or crucial.
Maybe in West Virginia, but
Wilbur.
Here's another version of it. This is just a lazy ass.
Here's the cheap ass German version. Does that looks kind of German?
Well, and those words, it is. Die weiße Gatten der Kannibalen is the white goddess of the cannibals.
Cannibal and run.
And they just took a frame from, they just literally took a frame from the picture and blew it up because they're lazy.
And that's that stuff at the top. The
what the hell is that word?
Unglaublich, ungeheuerlich, unvorstellbar.
I'm pretty sure it's probably those last three exclamations from the taglines.
It was
unbelievable.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's a good poster. Well, why don't you go ahead and tell us about some of the other titles there, Mr. Jeff?
Well, we've got some here on the posters. La Montagna del Deo Cannibala.
And there she is doing the Raquel Welch 1 million years BC pose.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And taking a squat. Yep. And
up on the top of there, top of that poster, that says basically prohibited for minors under 14.
Yeah, please.
Under 14?
Yeah. No.
You make your decisions.
It might be 14 and under. I don't know. Same thing there. The next one is another Italian, more the standard look. La Montagna.
Looks and nothing like her, but it's a nice.
Looks like
so then there's in Mexico there was La Montagna del Dios Cannibal, which is the mountain of the cannibal god. In France, La Montagne du Cannibali. I mean, the mountain of the cannibal god. Primitive Desires in the UK was an alternate title. And then the first word of the title was alternately switched around to Slave, Mountain, or Prisoner of the Cannibal God.
I wonder why they did that. Did they think the word slave might give people the wrong idea about their monkey killing pig sex movie?
No. I thought I kind of like
offended by that.
I kind of like Mountain of the Cannibal God, and that's the original title. So why in the U.S. do we change it?
Yeah, well, and
And
it came out as Prisoner, right?
Yeah. So anyway.
All right. Well, there you go. Those are the posters, and like you said, Bill, the main poster is actually kind of awesome.
You know, one of the things I like, and it's a little touch, but I like it. It's the poster has this image, and there's Ursula Andress, but she's actually coming out of the picture. Her feet stick out of the graphics part, and they're threatening to stomp on the credits and everything. And I don't know, but I've always kind of liked that, whether it's in a comic book cover or movie poster.
Yep. All right, well, let's take a look at the director of this, and it's Sergio Martino. And Bill, tell us about some of these films he did.
Oh, there's some good stuff here. There's All the Colors of the Dark, which I don't know if it's a great movie, but it is a great title for a giallo film. That's just so cool. And we've done Island of the Fishmen under its Americanized, bastardized version, Screamers. And that's actually a great poster too, and a really good Gilman. That's just an odd little movie, but we did that. That was fun. Scorpion
the Italian cut of that film is actually pretty fun.
Yeah. It doesn't have. You won't see a man turned inside out, but you won't see that in Screamers either. The poster lied. But yeah, this is pretty cool. And then Scorpion with Two Tails. I have not seen that. I suspect it does not have a scorpion with two tails, but as soon as Dario Argento did, Bird with the Crystal Plumage, they were like, aha, there must be a iguana on a lizard's skins, 9 eyes of the purple tarantula. But that looks pretty cool. There's the Case of the Scorpion's Tail. I wonder if that's the same movie. I don't know. That's a cool poster though. And then on the far right, we've got, let me see. I have a hard time reading this. Your vice is a locked room, and only I have the key.
Yes, that's
which
a great
is
title too.
It's a great poster and a great title. Promises all kinds of stuff and probably can't deliver. But then one of my favorites. I mean, the movie's okay, but the trailer is absolutely one of my top 10 favorite trailers for Torso, because it's the trailer where the guy just keeps screaming Torso, and then they show another scene and there's Torso.
It's a great title, and it's actually a pretty damn good poster too.
Yeah,
with the inside the saw. So I was looking this up. The producers are listed as Dania Film, and I think that is owned by Sergio and his brother. And his brother was listed as the producer, so I'm not sure which producer was putting the pressure on him to put.
His brother was.
There is another one, the Medusa Distribuzione. They might have been the ones that were doing it. So I don't know at what time that happened. Also, that this was part of some I forget what it was called, but there was some weird loose topical trilogy for Martino. That was this movie and The Great Alligator and Island of the Fishmen.
Yeah, that's pretty loose. Island of the Fishmen is really kind of a fantasy, and
they're all pretty. It's very loose,
pretty cool. I don't know that he has a style that I yet have identified, but I haven't watched enough of his movies. I think I'd have to watch them all in a row to see if there's something like an Argento-esque quality to him that you could say, aha, a Martino film.
So, according to this commentary, there wasn't one. He was like a chameleon doing whatever genre was hot, and somebody would pay him to do at the time. So everything from westerns to giallo to the police procedurals to cannibal movies. And then he ended up, according to them, he's more well known in Italy for making these. He called them comedies. She called them sex comedies.
Oh.
Later in his life, that's pretty much everything that he did. So,
yeah, I'll tell you. There are a few things less rewarding than watching European sex comedies, because you begin to realize that comedy, and maybe to a certain degree sex, does not translate well from one culture to another. And you're looking at this, and these guys have made good movies, and I'm sure they've had a lot of laughs in their life, but this is the unfunniest thing that has ever.
He said that. He said a lot of the jokes don't translate out of the language. They're puns and slang in Italian that just don't translate. So.
It translates in every language: The Three Stooges. I don't care who you are, you'll laugh at those guys.
Yep,
Pretty much.
Yeah.
oh, just so you know, there, Bill, you were asking about the 2 Scorpion Tail movies. Case of the Scorpion Tail came out in 71. Scorpion with 2 Tails came out in 82.
Ah, okay, so they are different.
They are different films. Yep.
Maybe a sequel. Maybe there's sequel.
Hard to tell. I'm not going to bother looking up.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Doc.
No, I'm not going to do it. Also did 2019 After the Fall of New York.
Oh,
in
the Road
83.
Warrior. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Rip off, yeah.
Rip off.
That was pretty much what they did. So I just, Bill, you did this big history of
Cannibals.
movies
Yeah, I should have recycled that.
Was it Cannibal Ferox?
Mhm.
Well, this Claire Donner is apparently she's into a cannibal movie scholar of some kind, but she
God help her.
she basically said, as you have said, that the first one was
Man from Deep River.
Man from Deep River, and that it basically was a ripoff of A Man Called Horse
At 100%.
with a different animal.
With just a little bit. I don't think Man Called Horse has any cannibals in it, but they toss that. It's almost a throwaway scene in Man from Deep River, and they were like, "Whoa, we can work with this."
And then this one is based on King Solomon's Mines.
Sure.
It's almost an exact story. They have to get together, get somebody to help them go find their lost husband or father or whatever. And basically that it's kind of an Alan Quartermain movie. Now this is the one that hit me. Was she said basically the roots of these cannibal movies. So when they made Man from Deep River, and is that Lindsay?
I believe so. I think so.
So he ripped off A Man Called Horse, which was written by a woman named Dorothy Johnson, who was a novelist of Westerns that wrote things out of the standard Western trope. She had actual things that, more than just the standard Western stories. And that a man told her, and I know I'm not going to find it. I know I copied it in here. So, a French diplomat was telling Lindsay about all these weird rituals, erotic, exotic rituals they had in Malaysia and Thailand. And so that's what led to these ideas of doing these. The man was Louis-Jacques Rollet Andrian. His wife is the one credited with writing the Emmanuel novels.
Oh.
Only some people claim he actually wrote them. So there you go. The roots of cannibal movies go to
and then of course
novelist Dorothy Johnson and Emmanuel.
We actually did have a movie called Emmanuel Meets the Cannibals or something.
Well, there you go.
Emmanuel and the Last Cannibal. So it all comes together in a horrible monkey.
I just bored the hell out of a whole bunch of people, but I thought that was interesting. And basically he had no distinguishing feature. He wasn't really an auteur. He was just he was a workman. He was very good at it, and he could make a decent movie in any genre that you asked him to.
There's something to be said for that.
Yeah, the filming quality is surprisingly good for this type of film. Doesn't have that grindhouse feel to it.
Super grainy.
Yeah.
And you do have to give them credit. I mean, they're filming under not the best conditions, and if you bring your entire cast home and the film and the cameras and all, and that's probably an achievement right there.
Well, they talked about too. The cast was talked about how it's a whole different feel when you shoot a movie at a location like that, because you're spending 24/7 with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So it builds up a camaraderie, or drives each other nuts, whatever.
Or a deep hatred.
But they spent a lot of time together and got to know each other and had long friendships. They were all very positive about Ursula Andress, and she was just like the nicest, greatest, most competent person they'd ever met. She did all of the stuff that she did. She did the snake. She did the drape that was a live python. It was drugged, more than likely. But I think, and then Martino's like a lot of people, and then I'll stop after I do this. The The cinematographer was Giancarlo Ferrando, which did a lot of his movies. Same with the editor. There was a cameraman that was in a lot of his movies. Paolo Ricci did a lot of the special effects. He did these cannibal masks and the tribal masks, and I forget what else. I suppose the chopping the head off kind of thing. Claudio Morabito is the camera operator that did a whole bunch of movies with him. So anyway, you know how that is. We talk about that a lot of times. That you get this crew of people you're comfortable with, and you just keep using them, and they complement each other.
And if they're willing to go out under those conditions and not be divas about it, and actually make a finished product that looks halfway decent, well, yeah, I'd keep them for my next one too. Or actually shooting on a sound stage. It's a reward for all the leeches you had to pick off your testicles.
Well, and the screenwriter hung with him too a lot, and that he did.
Yes.
Keep going.
Oh, you got it. Cesare Frugoni. He did Island of the Fistmen. Fishmen. Well,
we're getting back to the
different
pig again,
movie.
aren't we?
I've got another movie on the brain
That sounds like a Gus Franco movie.
that has fist in the title that we're going to talk about later.
No.
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 Yeah, him too. I lost my train of thought. So good.
All right. Well, let's move on to Ursula Andress, who
Yes, sir.
who is absolutely stunning and does a great job.
I wouldn't say she has a wide range of facial expressions, but she was fine for this. And she's statuesque, which, works for this.
You know what I was reminded of watching this is Bo Derek.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because Bo Derek is very similar to her stature and stuff. And
I'm trying to remember, was Ursula Andress married to John Derek? I feel like he was married to another famous kind of sex star.
I think you're right.
Yes. Up until 1966.
Well, he certainly had a certain type.
She was 42 when they made this movie.
Damn.
She looks
great.
Or 41, 42. Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah. I mean, later she would be in Clash of the Titans in 81, but I think horror fans probably know her from She, right?
Mm-hmm. Hammers She.
Yeah.
I think we got the poster for that. But yeah, I can see where, listen, if I was looking, if all I had to look at were all these other cannibals and Ursula Andress shows up, I'd make her my queen. Sure. Heck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and now she burst onto the screen, literally walking out of the ocean like Afro frickin' Deity and Dr.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe one of the greatest intros of any character ever. I mean, you can just imagine how audiences at that time must have they probably looked like the wolf in a Tex Avery cartoon when she came just coming out of that water. Wow.
Yeah. Great name too. Honey Rider.
Yep. And then the one on the bottom, I love the poster, even though I can't read it. Isn't that like the 10th victim?
Yes.
Okay. That's a cool little poster. And she was one of the goddesses in Clash of the Titans. I can't remember.
Yeah, Aphrodite. She played Aphrodite.
Yeah.
Oh, she was the one who made the owl. It was her owl, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
I have to I'm gonna have to check out the 10th victim. It says on which she wore a famously ballistic bra. I don't know what that means, but
it's a bra that shoots bullets. I don't know what the confusion is.
Oh, I wonder.
Yeah.
I would think that the backfire would be very painful, but yeah,
or a huge turn on, depends on.
Yeah. And
I've never seen Red Sun.
Oh, I've never seen She, but I'll look forward to watching it one day.
We're gonna have to pick
Classic
that
era,
one. Yeah, we have to do that.
All right. Yeah, she's been with almost everybody. She starred with almost all, just a long.
Nah, you're right.
Famous
The first
actors.
All right, moving on. We have Stacy Keach.
Unexpected. A name I did not expect to see in an Italian cannibal movie.
Yeah. Now,
but then you look up and he has done some, kind of genre stuff. Class of '99, Road Games, which we did.
Yeah.
And that was quite
Jamie
good.
Lee Curtis.
And The Ninth Configuration, which is a real kind of a mind-blowing film by
We've had Group Believers have suggested that.
What's that?
That's
What?
on our list for 80s. The
Really?
Ninth Configuration.
Oh, all right.
Plus, it's by the guy who gave us The Exorcist. So
But it's kind of bizarre.
yeah.
Stacy's got over 200 credits.
Now you listen to the commentary and everything. Was he meant to exit the film when he did? Because I was watching. I'm like, did he just like suddenly wake up one day and say, hey, I'm not being paid enough for this?
Nobody said anything negative about anybody. They all said they all had a great time. Somebody made a comment that Claudio Cassinelli was kind of a little more apprehensive about some of the stuff they were doing, but he did it all. Oh, and there's a great story. When we get to him, we'll tell the snake story.
I just feel like this guy's arc wasn't completed.
Yeah.
There wasn't, was it? We never found out why he wanted to go and get back with the, back with
he wanted to exterminate all the cannibals.
He wanted to wipe them out. So it seems like
because they made him eat human flesh, and he couldn't get out of his mind.
So when they said that, I immediately thought of two things. One, he's going to get taken out by the cannibals because he thinks he's going to take, and then two, someone's going to be eating him. Full circle. The cannibal has become the cannibalized, and instead he fell off a rock. So
he fell off a rock.
Yeah. And one of the few things that's really doesn't hold up in this movie. There was like a yellow rubber dummy that they dressed up in his clothes, and if you watch that scene, you see his clothes start to right up as he's sliding down. So his yellow midriff, yellow arms, yellow everything.
I guess he didn't actually fall off the rock. He was kind of
that he didn't do.
Cowardly dickwad. Yeah.
Well, he didn't. He didn't help him. Yeah, which is this is one of those movies where it's kind of hard. When you're all said and done, Claudio Cassinelli is the only
decent person,
admirable character. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even Ursula Andress and her brother are both just in it for the uranium, which is
brother. I totally believe, but when she turns evil, I didn't buy it.
Nah.
So I can understand why you don't like cannibal movies. So just to throw this in, it was like the tropes. One is they're usually going after some treasure, whether it's cannibals, diamonds, oil, gold, whatever.
Yes.
They're after something. There's white Westerners running afoul of Stone Age primitives.
Mm-hmm.
Most often in Southeast Asia or the Amazon basin. Plenty of gore, animal cruelty, sex, or even more often rape, and people eating gross stuff. That's pretty much ingredients in most of the cannibal movies, I think.
Yeah.
Don't forget bestiality.
No. Yeah, bestiality. That's one they don't do. So this one broke the mold.
Yeah, a little bit more there. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
We're all after the uranium.
All right. Bombs. All right. Moving on to Claudio. What is Claudio. Okay.
Cassinelli.
Yeah, thank you.
Cassinelli.
I couldn't get it out of my face. Who wants to talk about this young man?
He's good.
Well, I'll just tell the snake story. Then you can, if you.
Okay. Oh God.
Sure.
So that story, so there's the scene where he uses his hat like he's like a snake charmer.
Oh yeah, I like that.
He
that
moves the hat around and then he grabs the cobra. Well, Stacy Keach says that the snake's mouth was sewn shut.
Well, I would hope so.
So anyway, that someone else said that they devenomed the snakes that they used in the movie.
Oh, you would hope, right?
So
yeah,
but later on, they're actually in a scene and a real, what they called a whitewater cobra, which is supposed to be one of the most deadly ones of all.
Mm-hmm.
That's not one of their snakes. This is when they're on location, crawls up and is heading towards Ursula Andress, and he just reaches out and grabs it just quicker than shit and throws it away. And it's like they said like all that training he did for the scene was like, boom, it just kicked into gear. So and several different people told that story, and it was exactly the same. Everybody told it the same.
It's good for him. He's a hero.
Dear Penthouse, I was making a movie with a famous
Yeah.
actress. She was almost bitten by a cobra, but I snatched him and threw it away. And then you can just imagine the rest of this letter.
The highest, yes. The
Oh, good for him, man. That's gutsy.
and also that he couldn't see very good. But obviously for his character, he couldn't wear glasses. So, but if you watch a lot of his other movies, he's wearing glasses. So he's in Fishman.
Yep,
Right? You got
Island
that
of
up
Fisherman.
there. He's got about 50 credits. Unfortunately, he died during the making of Hands of Steel in a helicopter crash.
Oh, that's right.
They said it was a pilot error. He was 46, I think.
Was it that they hit the high power lines or something?
No, it says something about hitting a bridge, I think. I wonder if they were trying to fly under a stone
under
arc
the bridge.
or something.
Oh, damn.
Hands of Steel.
That's a shame.
But he did. But one thing he did, I thought he was great in this.
Hercules.
So, the second thing is
Scorpion with two tails. Sorry.
There you go. Second thing is that the way they had their hair and makeup all done, and they both had beards, and they both have like very similar eyes.
Yeah, they do.
They looked like they were brothers, or they were, or sometimes I wasn't sure which one I was watching.
This was a nightmare for me. I fully expected when we were doing this podcast, have Jeff say, Bill, these are just pictures of Stacy Keach. You don't have a single picture of Claudio here. I'm like,
I couldn't even figure out when they were climbing up that waterfall, the rock.
Which one was that?
I'm watching that, trying to figure out, okay, which one is, no, that's Stacy. No, that's not Stacy Keach. That's Claudio.
I kept looking for the lip.
Yeah.
It looked like Stacy Keach had a cleft palate at some point.
So he's in,
and he's got that scar there.
The Great Alligator, Avalanche Express,
Great Alligator,
Blood and Diamonds.
I just want to say for anyone making movies out there, if you've got two leading men that look this much alike, do me a favor and give one of them a mohawk and the other one the reverse mohawk where you just shave the hair down the middle. Basically, the Road Warriors. I had no trouble telling Hawk and Animal apart because they were nice enough to do that hair thing. Even I can see that.
So he's another guy they talked about. What a nice guy he was. Everybody else.
That's great.
They actually talked about, for the most part, they talked about Martino being a. They didn't have horror stories about him.
Hey, did they interview the monkey? No,
they did not interview the monkey.
And why is that?
He would have had a difference of opinion, I think.
They did say, the cinematographer, they said, was a stickler for doing things right and staying on time. So I don't know how he did that, but he said he was a good motivator, is the way he described it.
Let's look at it from his point of view. He's a photographer. He could make money doing weddings, and instead he's in the jungle where white cobras show up out of nowhere.
Yes.
You have to hope that your legally blind leading man can snatch him by the tail and get rid of him before he bites the famous actress. I'm watching this. Let's not dilly dally, guys. Let's go home.
This raft isn't like a highly robust water vehicle.
Or the log
down this river. They're in rapids. They're falling into the water. They're climbing up the cliff with the water.
When they're walking through that water that had all the lily pads in it. There's no way you could have got me to do that.
Yep.
No amount of money you could get me to walk through that.
If this were America, where white water cobras are not a common problem, I still would hesitate. I can think of snapping turtles.
That's
uber leeches,
other kinds of water snakes. Yeah,
just stepping in mud is unpleasant. I mean,
the squish.
And there she was, and there was Ursula Andress walking right through there with
like a trooper. No, not being a diva at all. Good for her.
Oh, and by the way, we kind of skipped over that, but there was a credit for the leatherware. Miss Andress's leatherware.
Wow.
So who designed her goddess outfit, I guess, was Luca Sabatelli. Anyway.
It worked for me.
We're the best in loincloths.
The best in loincloths. Let's take a look at
it got to where it almost looked like a Las Vegas show outfit.
My gosh. Well, Kind of did. Here's a couple pictures of some cannibals there, Bill, that you collected.
I like that these look legitimately like they could be, people living out in the rain. Sometimes you look at these, especially the cheaper cannibal movies, you can see the wristwatch, tan line, and all. It's the mud thing has always been cool too. I think it's a good look because then it dries and cracks on their skin, and it's just a good, nice look, nice. Inexpensive, but it looks convincing. And if I were out there with mosquitoes carrying diseases that don't have names yet, I'd be covering myself in layer after layer of mud.
Well, they were kind of designed after the Mudmen of New Guinea, which was a tribe that wears
terrifying looking tribe
masks like that and are covered their body with mud.
My grandfather actually fought in World War II in New Guinea.
Yeah,
He had some stories, but he didn't tell us all of them. But the ones he told you would raise the hair on the back of his head. The locals were friends to the Americans because apparently when the Japanese soldiers got there, they treated them very, very poorly. And also these were good people to have on your side, and you could make them very happy with, sticks of gum and not shooting them. So yes, they were friends. Yes, they were good friends of the American soldiers there.
Yeah.
So
now, looking at the mask in the center picture there, that does that remind you? I was going to say, does that remind you of anything we saw a couple of weeks back?
a little bit.
It was just like
much more gruesome.
Oz speaks. Yeah, that is pretty cool. That did not occur to me when I was watching the movie, but as soon as you started talking, it's like, oh my God, he's absolutely right.
Well, I liked that all the masks weren't the same too, and that some of them, that guy standing in the background on the right is pretty gruesome looking too.
Yeah, get your own special mask.
Well, they're supposedly made out of skin, correct? I'm assuming since they're cannibals.
I would
probably. I mean, it's got teeth.
Yeah, sure. Where'd the teeth come from? Never you mind.
So this is a snake scene you were talking about earlier, right?
Yeah.
Is that which one is it? Is that Keach?
No, that is
Claudio. See, I can't even tell the difference in this picture right there.
Welcome to my world.
Well, this is the python. That's not where he grabs the cobra.
Right.
Right. This is the python.
Python's all wrapped around Ursula Andress.
But look at that mouth.
Yeah, snakes' mouths usually don't hang open like that, so he must be pretty well drugged up.
Yeah.
To just he's just kind of flopping there.
I'll tell you, you don't want
backwards.
You don't want to be bitten by one of these because although they're not venomous, their teeth. Snakes don't have hands, so to be able to work their way and swallow something, they've got teeth that hook backwards.
Yeah,
and so they just sort of work their way. And if you get bit by one, your first instinct is probably try to pull it right out, and that may not work.
There's a rip tear.
Yeah, you're going to leave some stuff behind.
I've been bitten by one about that size. A Burmese python. Yeah, it was about 20 feet long.
And how did that happen, sir?
Yeah, what's the story?
Well, it belonged to my buddy. He had a comic shop in Florida, and he had a huge cage in the comic shop that he kept this python in. And I would help feed the pythons, which he gave them rabbits, that kind of thing. So I'm assuming that I must have still had the scent of the rabbit on me. And she grabbed me here, and I knew not to pull away because that's like taking a razor blade to your wrist or whatever. So the both of us there were able to wrestle her free, and but yeah, she clamped on pretty good, and started to coil, tried to coil around my arm. So who knows? If my buddy wasn't there with me, who knows what would have happened.
Yeah, that would have hurt.
It'd be a big Chad-shaped lump in the middle of a large.
Chad-shaped.
Well, how big? What was your hand like?
I didn't pull away because I've been around snakes a lot my whole life, and so I knew. And I wasn't so much worried about me, but I was always taught if you jerk away, it pulls all their teeth out, then they can't eat.
Yeah,
anymore. So I just kept still and just waited. I calmly said, "Hey, could you help me out here?" And, I mean, it wasn't scary or anything like that. I knew we'd be able to get her off, but
boy,
It was
Great. That's a good
it
story. You
did-
got one good story out of it.
Yeah, it did hurt though. It did hurt.
I'll bet.
Yeah, I bet.
They got
it
pretty strong jaws. From what
It
I
hurts
heard.
me just hearing about it.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. And I had to
And I-
hold her head too because
Yeah.
they work around,
It chews.
tried to move her head. Yeah.
And I know
so-
it's not the cleanest mouth in the animal kingdom. I mean, it ain't a Komodo
No.
dragon, but it's not. They don't brush and floss daily. So
Right.
Dragons. Yeah, so the dragon.
Mhm.
I don't know when they dissected that dragon.
Yes,
I,
the Komodo dragon.
I would assume.
or whatever it was.
I don't know. Well, never mind. I guess I'm not gonna make any assumption.
It didn't look like a prop. It looked like a
No.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I think it was real, and they
Yep.
ate.
why would they make a prop when the jungle is full of animals they can torture for real? So
Mhm.
And they're just there for the pickings.
Yeah.
That was yeah. I didn't like that scene either. And when they were ripping the skin off the snakes.
Yeah.
yeah,
They're biting into the snakes and stuff.
Yeah.
Could have done
I
that.
would never make it on a Survivor show. I would just something too.
well, I love the show Survivor. I've watched every episode of every season, which is probably a year of my life. And they used to have that in the early episodes, early seasons, where for people would have to take eyeballs, squid eyeballs, and eat them, and do all these awful things with flies buzzing around them. And they have completely gotten rid of that because I guess
Somebody complained.
among other things, there's probably a number of people who would not be able to be on the show because their religion forbids eating squid eyeballs, or maybe not quite that specific.
Well,
But yeah, it ain't kosher, that's for sure.
that sounds more like the show Alone.
I love Alone. I love Alone.
I had binged the first 4 or 5 seasons. I haven't watched it for a long time.
I would like to be on Alone, and I would tap out after, I'm guessing, 2.5 days. But yeah, it's great. It's a great show.
5 minutes.
No, 5 minutes. Like,
well,
nope,
yeah.
nope.
No, this
Well,
ain't-
my favorite one was the
Bucket
guy
list.
who gained a
Give
bunch
me
of weight.
back to
so
the
that he could-
hotel.
Yeah, yeah.
the
He
guy
gained a bunch of weight.
gained
He
a
built
bunch
a
of weight 'cause I'll
shelter.
be able to last longer. And then he builds a shelter and goes for a walk and breaks his ankle on this walking on
Yeah.
a shale on the beach. Like, whoop,
No.
maybe because he weighed too much. I don't know.
My daughter and I
Oh.
absolutely devour that show. We love it.
No, it's not for me. Not for
That
me.
Crystal told me about first. Yeah.
Is
right.
there anything else we want to say about this film before we move on?
I-
What's our last comment?
If you like this sort of stuff or not.
Yeah. Like I said, it's not for me. I know people like cannibal movies, and that's fine. But it's I don't know. Some of the stuff they get into is just I can handle things if I know they're not real. Like I can see the most extreme gore movie, and it doesn't bother me. But if I see real, like the monkey, I could not look that monkey in the eye. It was so
Yeah.
tough to do that, and
Yep.
even though I grew up on a farm, I've butchered animals for food. I know what that's, but when it's unnecessary,
Right.
just for something like that, I got a problem with it.
For entertainment.
Yeah, but it's, I think that people that like cannibal movies will like it. Just not for me. That's all.
Yeah, I mean the cannibalism part of it is actually pretty tame compared to what you would get
Yeah.
a couple of years later. But
And
it's
this
still
looks-
effective.
You
It's still
couldn't
effective.
have a movie like that and take the deviant sex and the animal cruelty out. I don't know, because I think he was really too. Because we talked about it, and I agree with. I think Chad talked about it. There's so much traipsing through the jungle, and then running through the jungle, and then floating on the river, and then we run through the jungle some more, and that stuff actually took a fair amount of time. I think
Yeah.
it could have been.
And
It was
if you
it was
take
about
all-
an hour and 45 minutes. I think.
Yeah. That thing,
I-
if you take the animal cruelty out, then it's just one long travel.
It's an adventure. It's supposed to be like an adventure movie, which they anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now, one thing we skipped over were there was a time when the one guy turned on them and made all these traps, and some of those traps were pretty vicious too. Like the
Oh,
one that
yeah.
where the one that took the guy up in the air and he was like in between like the two
Mhm.
sharp
Yeah,
board
Yeah.
with the two sharp things with all the sharp things on it, and it was just like the more he bounced, the more it ripped into him. Oh, like,
Yeah.
oh man, that's That's
We haven't
kinda
mentioned the decapitation either, which was pretty good.
crazy. That was fun. That
And
was
then
and then
crocodile, the fake crocodile.
I forgot about that.
Uh,
Was it? It was fake, right? Okay.
Yeah, it was, and chopped his arm off and took him under, I guess. I don't
Yep.
know.
And then they all went, whoa! That was so crazy. And then we got a bashed in skull too, which had like the
Yeah.
brains from
Oh,
all
yeah,
the
yeah.
all the
the little guy.
Fulci
Yeah.
movies. We'd always have those kind of brains sitting inside of a puzzle.
So do you think, and I think maybe we mentioned this in one of the other ones, Bill, but I think one purpose the animal cruelty serves, it shouldn't be used for that, but it establishes a realism.
Yeah.
That when you come to the human violence,
Yeah. I've seen a monkey really die. Maybe I'm going to see a human really die.
Yeah. All right. Well, you can watch this on a variety of free material, including some of the channels that we were sharing with you. I think I saw on Classic Horror.
Yeah, it's on Classic Horror Movie Channel and Wicked Horror TV.
Yeah. And it's the uncut version. It's the mountain, but it's known as Mountain. They have it in their Mountain.
They have it in there as Mountain of the Cannibal God. So
Right.
that's what you have to search.
Where do you guys watch it?
I don't.
Tubi,
remember.
I think I was.
Tubi?
I probably was Tubi then. Yeah.
Okay. So Tubi has a slightly cut version. All right. We'll have to compare the times. Yeah.
Well, I think the Tubi version was an hour and 30 minutes.
Well, that's a lot cut then.
I think the ones you guys watched was 145, an hour.
Yeah, 144,
wow.
I think.
See, that's probably mostly 15 minutes of walking through the forest.
Maybe. All right. Well, we'd love to hear your comments. What do you think about what we said? Did you do you enjoy cannibal films, or do you give them a pass like we do, or we got more to say, it seems, but please reach out to us and let us know about this particular film and what you think.
Okay.
What do you got, Jeff? You got
the lizard regurgitating the snake. I forgot about that.
No, I didn't like that. I don't like it when humans vomit.
I'm just
I don't like it
mentioning
when animals vomit
Bruce
either.
thing.
So.
I'm doing my Chris Farley interview show. Wasn't it cool?
Do you remember that time when
these movies do make you appreciate civilization, you know?
That's true. That's true. Mother Nature is
awful.
Is a beast. Let's move into some feedback. We have feedback, Jeff?
We got feedback. We
got big feedback.
Not a lot in numbers, but we have some lengthy ones.
Volume here. Volume.
And
what is
this?
This
may actually be the we could call this possibly not entirely, but the Dennis Lancaster show.
Yeah, he's competing with Jerry Chandler, who, by the way, friend of the. I just want to say, friend of the channel, Jerry Chandler. His dad passed away just the other day after a long illness, and thinking of you, Jerry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. So Dennis is, as I mentioned before, is a friend of Jose's and has gone on here, and man, he's got a lot of knowledge, so his feedback are pretty interesting. So first up, episode 154, Planet of Dinosaurs.
Yay.
From Dennis. Bill, you want to take that one?
Sure. I'm the one responsible for that mess. Greetings, Grue Crew. Another fun episode. Planet of Dinosaurs was part of a wave of films such as the nearly unwatchable Laser Blast, 1978, Crater Lake Monster, 77, Star Crash, 78, and Flesh Gordon in 1974, in which the marketing emphasized the stop-motion special effects. Some films like Jim Danforth's Time Gate were never completed, sad, and others like David Allen's The Primevals, 2023, were completed decades later. My friend Stephen Wathen worked on Planet of Dinosaurs and created the spaceship and just recently restored it for display at the Dinosaur Museum in Brandon, Utah. Ooh, I got to make a stop there one day. The museum was founded by the late sculptor and artist Stephen Zerkis and his wife Sylvia. Also on display is the mechanical brontosaurus from the 1933 King Kong.
Wow.
This was This was the model that was used in the swampy lake that tipped over the raft of the sailors and began to grab them and throw them about. Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
In regards to the comments about the podcast not being slick or polished enough, I like the vibe of friends getting together and sharing their thoughts and observations about the monster films they have enjoyed. I used to do it in school with my fellow monster kids. If anything, the podcast reminds me of one of my favorite monster magazines, the Monster Times. Oh, I am so there with you.
Wow.
That's
This
a compliment.
tabloid newspaper style monster magazine was not a slick, fancy magazine like Famous Monsters, nor did it delve into stuffy criticism like Castle of Frankenstein. The Monster Times was rather rough and tumble and would often delve into various subjects with an emphasis on exploitation. They would often have surprising opinions on films, actors, and film directors. When you opened up a copy of the Monster Times, you never knew what surprises you were going to get. And much like your podcast, it was fiercely entertaining. Best wishes and continued success. I just want to say that is a big compliment because I am with you. I loved all of them. I love Castle of Frankenstein. I love horror stuff. But I love the Monster Times.
Yeah.
The cheapness of it was actually part of its charm. I still have them. Boy, they're falling apart faster than I am. It's one of those things when you have to be very careful as you read them because it was on the cheapest newsprint, but it was fun.
I think we need to find some way to use that blurb. Fiercely entertaining.
Yeah, that's a great compliment. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dennis.
Yep, thanks.
And then Dennis comments on 243's, or otherwise known as the Snake movie. I don't know where we're at.
You want to do it? Okay. All right. Dennis Lancaster says, "Hi, Grue Crew. Another great and fun episode. This knocked the cobwebs out of my dusty memories as to where I saw. It was double billed with The Boy Who Cried Werewolf. I saw these films at my local center theater in Fremont, California. I have a lot of wonderful memories of that theater, despite the fact that it was rather rough, has a rather rough reputation. On Saturday, you could see anywhere from 3 to 5 genre films for $1.
Wow.
At the time's release, the purpose of these films would often depend on the makeup effects and the makeup artist that had created them. I probably read more about John Chambers' involvement in this film than any of the actors. John Chambers would win an Oscar for his work on the Planet of the Apes films. And circling back to the Center Theater, I remember attending a Planet of the Apes marathon there. True to the Center Theater's renegade reputation, the marathon started with Escape from the Planet of the Apes and ended with Beneath the Planet of the Apes. I wonder who the film programmer was. Continued best wishes and success on your channel. Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Dennis.
What a strange order.
Yeah, it is.
But I guess it makes sense if they're doing it like chronologically in the storyline.
Every triple feature should end with Beneath the Planet of the Apes, because when it's over, it's over. Everything's over.
Yeah.
Game over, man.
Game over.
Andy L. on this is a short one. I'll just take this. Crew. Haven't seen this since it was on TV, but wondering if they had made a sequel, would it have been called Psst?
Absolutely, it would.
Only if they were trying to get your attention.
Yes, yes. And then we have one on Willard, episode 244. Chad, Dennis Lancaster again, and this is a really fun story.
Greetings, Grue Crew. Thank you for your kind response to my previous comments. Your channel is suggested by my friend Chris Peters, and I've been enjoying the fun banter and information that you provide. Great job and continued success. I have an extreme fondness for the movie Willard. The film itself is good, more melodrama than horror. That being said, the film provided me with one of the most memorable and informative cinema-going experience that I've ever experienced. This is going to be a long one, so you may want to take a bag lunch with you.
I'm ready.
The television trailer for Willard is probably one of the best trailers that AIP ever created and was probably a major part of the film's success. It promised a film of nightmare, horror, and everyone wanted to see it. I went opening night to see the film at my local Center Theater in Fremont. It was one of those neighborhood theaters sequestered between businesses. It would now be called a grindhouse, as it would show 3 to 5 films for $1. It had a rough reputation and with a clientele with a similar reputation. 3 films were to play that night. Half the marquee was taken up with the word Willard beneath it and smaller letters, plus House That Dripped Blood, and squeezed into the corner of the marquee, plus co-hit. There was a poster for Willard and House That Dripped Blood in the marquee and a tiny 8x10 for the co-hit that was placed in the ticket booth. The theater was absolutely buzzing about Willard. Everyone there wanted to see the film and couldn't wait. The theater darkened and the audience settled in, anticipating the horrors of Willard. The first film to play was the little identified co-hit. It was met with howls of rage and anger by that rough crowd. A black and white film? We want Willard! Get this crap off the screen! A chorus of expletives greeted the film and laughter at the title. The audience continued to swear and laugh at the dialogue between brother and sister as they pulled up to the graveyard. All of you know that this was Night of the Living Dead, but at the time this film was completely unknown by me and the audience. During this time, and because of its black and white nature, the film was booked for bottom-of-the-bill theater showings. This audience had no idea what they were in for. And when Johnny's head was crushed on a grave marker by the graveyard zombie, the catcalls, the swearing, and the laughter stopped. I experienced this film literally reach out of the screen and grab this hostile audience by the throat and not let go.
Wow.
Yeah.
To this day, I cannot watch Night of the Living Dead without hearing that audience playing in the back of my head. The screams, the gasps, the clattering of those cheap theater seats as the audience threw themselves back from a shocking scene. Halfway through the film, I realized I was watching the birth of a classic horror film. This must have been what it was like when Lon Chaney's Phantom was unmasked, Boris Karloff's Frankenstein monster backing into the room and turning slowly around as a camera cut to that face, the body snatchers, hero and heroine, ending as the corpse slides across the driver of the cart, the wild, hilarious, scary climax of Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein. Whenever I watch a classic horror film, I think about that audience and try to imagine the reaction that happened when the film was first released. At the end of the film, there was an audible sigh of relief from the audience when morning broke after the final attack of the zombies on the farmhouse. Then the lone survivor, Ben, was accidentally shot and killed. Or was it an accident?
Mm-hmm.
The audience went silent. The audience stayed silent all the way through the credits. As the flames burned, the film fading to black, there were no The End titles on this film at the time. Just the film running out with that vibrating sound coming from the projector. Darkness, silence, and then that rough crowd roasted their feet and they began cheering.
Oh, wow.
Cool. By the end of that year, Night of the Living Dead would be playing to packed houses with lines around the theater. As for Willard and House That Dripped Blood, the audience enjoyed them, but that was not the film they were talking about that night. The following week, I went to the Center Theater and bought 2 posters, and that black and white still of the zombies in the field as a memento of that amazing night. And I had Willard to thank for this experience. The second time I would see Night of the Living Dead was at a convention screening that proved to be another memorable experience, but that is another story. Thank you for your amazing channel.
Wow, that's a great.
Very cool.
story.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Good. Dennis is a
Yeah,
good writer.
wow.
I got goosebumps reading that.
And what a great thing to be part of that, you know.
Yeah.
What was it called? It was called. Is he saying it was called One Hit? What was it called? Co-hit.
Co-hit.
They just said and a co-hit.
Oh, so they didn't actually reveal the title.
Yeah.
Okay,
Didn't have
so
the
that-
title on the marquee.
okay, gotcha.
It was on a lobby card at the where he bought tickets at the ticket counter. So.
Probably not enough room on the marquee for all
Yeah,
that.
there was a big title, right? So, I remember the first time I watched Night of the Living Dead. I was maybe 12, and I kept running across the room and turning the TV off. And then I would turn it back on and watch it some more, and then I'd run across the room when it got skipped, turn it off. I will never forget watching that movie for the first time.
Me either. I heard the commercial for it on the radio, and I think the radio commercial said something like, "If the dead came back to life, what would they eat? They'd eat you."
Oh my God!
So I jumped off my bed and ran over and turned the light on in the room. I think I slept with the light on that night.
Yeah, I watched it on Channel 20 in DC with Count Gordon. playing it, and it was uncut. Oh my God, that was an experience.
Yeah, I think first time I saw it was cut on TV. They didn't have the scene with the little girl and her mom.
Oh, they had everything.
Wow.
They even had the naked butt.
Wow. Oh, that's awesome.
They had. I remember that they had these, things pop up before the movie that it was on. They warned everything. But this was the same. This was around the time that they would do what's the name of that thing with Scared Straight, right? And Scared Straight would play, and that was Raw. So TV was getting a little bit more bold in the later hours after 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Anyway, movie.
A great story, Dennis. Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much. That was great. What a great experience too. Holy crap.
One more feedback. This one's on our last episode, Zardoz, that just went live today. We'll have Bill take this one.
Because I was responsible for this mess too. Jose says of Zardoz, oh, this one. This is one weird film, bizarre and pretentious and just full of WTF moments. It did a lot to popularize the whole men wearing red diapers look. Yeah, that was big for a hot minute. However, I own the out of print and wait for it, stupid, expensive Twilight Time Blu-ray. I do love the ending sequence showing their aging, the birth and life development of their son, and their deaths at Beethoven's seventh. I do too. Striking, weird stuff for sure. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's his phrase. Stupid, expensive for hard to get stuff. So thank you. Thanks, Jose. Thanks, Dennis. Thanks, Andy. We really appreciate it. We love our feedback.
Yes, we do.
And as you can see, other people, I'm sure, have other stories like that. So please send us comments based on either, something we left out that's important to you, your own take on the movie, what your experience was, whatever.
Yeah. And thanks to Chris Peters for suggesting our podcast.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
So follow his lead and suggest this to your friends.
Like, subscribe, and share. I think it's the phrase. So you can leave comments on the Gruesome Magazine YouTube channel. That would be my preference, but I know some people listen to it audio, and that's kind of hard. You can send an email to feedback@gruesomemagazine.com, or you can make comments on the Gruesome Magazine's, I can't remember all the names to it, H&R and DOH podcast Facebook group. I think that's close
enough
to correct. So, and we also have a Patreon channel or Patreon group. You will get Decades of Horror the day after that we record it, sometimes 2 days, but usually one day after we record it. Otherwise, it doesn't go live, isn't released to publicly for 12 days to 2 weeks, depending on the schedule. So
many thanks to our existing Patreons.
Yeah, thank you all so very much.
And we have
great group.
We've covered Kolchak the Night Stalker. That's only available through Patreon, and it's only a few dollars a month.
Yep.
And that's 21 episodes that we did.
21.
One for each episode, and then a wrap up. Yep.
Yeah.
And we need to pick another series, and I know which one we're going to do. So we've got to. We need to talk, guys, offline.
Okay.
But what are we doing next, Jeff?
Well, it's your pick, Doc.
That's why I was asking you to say.
So what are we doing?
We are doing Crash from 1976. This is a Charles Band film, and it is blending two types of films that were doing bonkers in drive-ins and second runs and all that, with all the either the crash movies and supernatural films, because they use supernatural to cause all the crashes. So here we go. And the cast is pretty cool. It's got Jose Ferreras, Sue Lyon, John Erickson, Susan Parrish, John Carradine, and Reggie Nalder.
Wow.
So,
I got to say, Doc, congratulations. This is a movie I have never heard of. And usually when that happens, it's usually something, was made by a manure salesman in Texas because he owned a chain of drive-in theaters. But this is a legit filmmaker with a
Charles
legit.
Band. Yeah.
You
that
know,
guy's
yeah.
that guy's in Canada.
I
Yeah.
have never heard of this film, so I am very much looking forward to it.
And I was talking to Dave, one of the Grue Crew, and Dave sets up at conventions for Charles Band and his full moon stuff, right?
Mhm.
And he says that Charles Band is incredibly proud of this film. It's in his opinion, it's one of the best films he's directed. So this should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I have not seen it. I knew of it, but I have not seen it, and it's available out there. And
Cool.
See you a couple weeks, and we'll be talking about it.
Excellent.
All right. Well, there you go. That's our episode. Follow Jeff's lead to give us some feedback. We'd love to. We'd love to hear what you think of this particular movie we just talked about, or Crash if you've seen that, or have an opinion about that, or get ready to watch it because if you listen to this after you've watched the film, it probably makes a lot more sense. So there you go. With that, we're out of here. Crew, thank you. Bill, Chad, Jeff, thank you so much for joining me. I'm glad to be back doing this again, and then having a ball is so much fun.
It's good to have you back.
Yes, it is.
You're looking mighty blue there, Doc.
I'm feeling blue. Yeah, as I was telling you, that the sun goes down, the blue comes up. So I got bluer and bluer in the background. With that, let's say goodnight.
Good night, everybody.
Gruesome Magazine.